Let's go more in depth on this idea of the self-talk. What we say to ourselves. I mean, we talk to ourselves all the time.
Sure we do. We always talk to ourselves. Even when we walking down the street, we mumbling things to ourselves. Why? Because we're in a situation that we don't want to be in sometimes, so we wind up talking to ourselves. Now, but when you're talking to yourself for a job interview, what do you normally say to yourself, doctor?
Well, I start off with who I am. I'm intelligent, I'm smart, I'm brilliant. And when I'm saying those things to myself, I start off in the mirror first. I do my 5 or 10 minutes in the mirror every day. I mean, I'm going to be washing my face anyway. I'm going to be brushing my teeth. The whole time I'm doing those activities, I'm talking to myself, right?
Right. Yes,
so
you are.
what am I talking? Am I looking in the mirror going, you ain't worth it. You can't do it. You're not the one. No, I'm going to say something positive about myself. So doctor, how about yourself? What do you say when you're doing that self-talk?
Who am I? I look good. I feel good every day. And I want to prepare myself for everyday situations.
But isn't that like an ego trip? Aren't you ego tripping when you do that kind of thing?
All the time. Who else going to
So
build
you telling me? So you telling me an ego trip is good? Okay.
Yeah, it is good. It's very good. Why? Because you are developing who you are as an individual. Your personality is who you are. Okay? If you don't feel confident about yourself, that person that's interviewing you won't feel confident about you. So you have to feel good about who you are as an individual.
Exactly. So we're talking about the psychology of the deal here. Psychologists tell us that we are what our community says we are. That what people say around us determines how we feel about ourselves. And I'm saying that I'm a part of that community. So I should be able to dictate and project how I feel about me. Now, this self-talk influences every part of your life, every relationship you are in. Have you ever been in a situation where you just felt like you didn't qualify to be there?
Sometimes.
Okay? And that's when you normally do something to sabotage yourself. You'll say something, or you'll let something slip, or you'll omit something that brings attention to you in the negative.
Right.
So your self-talk can make difference in those situations.
But what about your self-esteem? How does that come into
yes,
play?
the self-esteem. Well, think about this. If I'm feeling good, think about when we were children. When you got that praise, that pat on the back for doing something good, or for just that beautiful smile you had on your face, that felt good, right?
Yes.
Made you poke your chest out a little bit, you got a little taller, you know. You felt good about yourself. What is self-esteem? How I esteem myself, how one esteems their self, okay? If you look at that really clear, all right, that's about how I feel about me, how I feel about being me. The one thing in this world I cannot change is who I am, in terms of I am me. I will always be me for the rest of my life.
Right.
So, since this is all I have to deal with, let me make the most of it. No matter how small other people might see it, it's important that I see it as the most, that I'm being the most that I can be at all times.
Right.
And because guess what? If I'm the employer and I'm looking for that person, I'm looking for that person that feels confident about themselves, that can give me, because I know that person can give me 100, if not 110%. And the very thing that you give me in the interview, for me, gives me a great big picture of how you fit within my company.
Exactly. And this is what employers are looking for. How confident are you within your own skin? If you go to an interview, I don't know if I fit this position. If you have doubts about yourself, then cancel the interview. Because you're not, because they want confident individuals.
That's why you need to do your, we talked about research in the last series. It's important that you do the research. We were just at a job fair yesterday. And what we noticed, we talked to one of the people at the job fair, and one of the things she stated was, you know, there's no telling how many people come to do job interviews with me, and they're dressed in shorts, or an inappropriate dress, or a pair of slacks, or something that they would wear to the park. She's looking at those things, and she's making a determination. She's also looking if you're overdressed. Maybe, as you said before, you're wearing that suit, that fancy suit, okay, from Paris or somewhere. And guess what? You should have been wearing the khakis and the blue blazer. So all this goes into the self-talk. how I feel about myself, building up that positive affirmation that says, I am somebody. And if it's to be, it's up to me. Those are things that I tell myself every day. I can make this happen. So when I walk in, the aura that I've created around myself, beams of light, beams of traction. What we're talking about here is building positive attraction.
Right.
You know, think about people that you've been around. And, man, I like being around that person. Why? Because, again, of what you get from them and what you're able to give them. It's an exchange. There's always this exchange going on between us and other people, even strangers that we don't know. I bump into you in the supermarket. Do I frown at you, or do I smile and say, oh, excuse me? Again, based on my self-talk, if I'm feeling kind of grumpy and I'm feeling kind of dumped on, I might go and watch it.
Right.
Okay.
Depending on what type of mood you're in. But also, here's the most important thing that you must remember is this. You want to command the room. What I mean by commanding the room is this. All eyes on you. As soon as you hit the door, okay, all eyes on you. You see, and that's from the confidence that you put within yourself, from the person that's not only doing the interview, but also from his or her receptionist, from the person that's also around, also from the people around you, okay, that's in the room with you. Oh, this guy got the job already. Look how he's dressed.
So you walk in and take charge of the room.
Exactly. And this is what we're talking about with your self-talk. You see, your self-esteem, your self-confidence commands that respect. You don't get respect, you earn your respect. Okay?
I went into a job, that reminds me of a story. I went into a job interview, and we were all sitting, this was kind of like a cattle call, where they had all these people sitting around the room with their resumes in their hands, waiting to go in and interview, right?
Right.
This one guy comes in the room, and he was a person of noteworthiness in the field that I was operating in at the time. He comes in, and he went up to every person sitting in that room, and he shook hands, and he gave him that firm handshake and looked him dead in the eye, and basically said, look, you can go home, because I'm here to get the job.
Exactly. That's what you want. That's the type of respect that you want to command for your interview. Why? Because you're going for that executive position, and also you're confident within who you are. Hi. And that's a great segue.
So, exactly. Here's the thing, and this is the recap on this. You want to look at this job interview as two things. Number one, it's preparing for a game. I don't care whether your game is basketball, soccer, football, baseball, whatever it is you play, tennis, and you're looking at competition. It's a competitive sport, job interviews. Later on in the we're going to create a series for you called The Power Game that deals with how to win with the interview. Thank you.
Good day, doctor.
Good day, doctor.
All right.